Hi, good afternoon, parents. Mrs. Stark.
Mrs. Stroud.
We're coming to you today to talk about some things that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. In about 2 weeks, approximately, the first report card will be going out for the first trimester of second grade. The report card is going to look a little different from report cards in years past. So we just wanted to go over with you a couple things so that when you receive it at home, you understand, first of all, what the numbers are for and what you're seeing. So what we did was we pulled the standards for ELA and phonics and writing and math, and we listed them as the ones that we've covered this first 13 weeks of school. So you will see a couple standards for each of the content areas, and you will see only one for writing because we're focused on the how-to informative writing for the first 13 weeks. So the children are graded on a scale of 4, 3, 2, and 1. 4 is the highest that the children will receive, and the 4 means that they are exceeding grade level standards. Please do not expect to see a 4 the first trimester of second grade on your child's report card, because right now, especially with the way school has been in the past so many months, right now we do not have children who are exceeding second grade standards. We're working with your students in refining those first grade standards that they missed or struggled with, and we are starting our second grade standards as well. So what we're doing is we're scaffolding the skills, and right now there's no expectation that any child would be exceeding grade level standards. The 3 is meeting grade level standards, and there are some children in some areas who will be receiving 3s for various standards on the report card. But what you will probably see a majority of on the report card is 2, which is approaching grade level standard. This is where we see the majority of our children right now with what we're teaching at the second grade level, based on lack of some first grade skills that they missed with going remote in March. There will be some 1s as well, and 1 means that they need intense intervention to start approaching grade 2 standards. So when you look at the report card, please do not be shocked. Please don't get upset. The only thing that we can say is things can only get better. Grades can only go up. We do not expect them to be 4s right now. We don't expect many 3s right now, just because of the state that we are in with education and learning, doing hybrid, remote, strictly remote, as we were back in March. So Stroud, do you have anything to add?
No, but what we did do is we pulled some samples of student writing, and we would ask you that you do not have students in the room with you. Your children should not be around. We're going to have some actual student writing to show you. We've taken the names off of them, so we don't want to embarrass any of the kids by showing some work. They're just random students writing, so we don't want anyone to recognize the writing that we do show you, just for privacy reasons. And we're going to show you one that is a higher level writing right now, not a 4. We're going to show you an average student's writing, and we're going to show you a low student's writing, and we'll let you know about what score it would be on a report card at this time. So the first one that we would like to show you would be a high student's writing, and I'm going to have Mrs. Stark hold this for you, and I'm going to go around the back of the camera, and I'm going to talk to you about what I see in this one. So right here you can see that the student has a great illustration, and you can see right there's a great illustration, and there's some labels there. We can see that it's pretty detailed, but we're not so much focused on the illustration as we're more interested in the writing. And you can see that there is awesome printing. It's got capital letters in the appropriate areas. You can see that it's got great finger spacing, it's got punctuation, and you can see that the sentence makes sense. The child wrote, "Make sure you have a dog before you play with it." And this was a how-to writing on how to play with your dog. The sentence makes sense. The words are spelled correctly, even though we're not really focused on every word being spelled exactly correctly. We do have room for inventive spelling, but you can see words like have, we've talked about already. We've talked about the word play in school, the word with the ending of th, and this child has really taken in that information and they're using it independently.
And we've also talked about the word make, because it has the vowel saying its name with the silent E at the end.
So when we turn the page, you can see that this child continues to carry on good writing skills, and you can see again capital letters, punctuation. This child has taken in information with a comma, and even though something should be one word, this child has sounded out some and thing correctly. We're seeing great conventions here. This child would definitely be a 3 on a report card. This would be a very high grade, meeting grade level standards right now. And this one says, "Let your dog outside before you play with it." This is a great writing piece right now in November of second grade. Once we get a little further into second grade, we would expect many more sentences, more descriptive writing, but we'll surely come on in and carry you through second grade with us and explain how much more in depth we expect writing to be. So the next piece that we'll show you, Mrs. Stark will explain for you. So that was an example of higher writing right now in second grade. And if your child is not at that level right now, you can surely help them practice at home and encourage them by writing with them and reminding them of capital letters, finger spaces, punctuation marks. Have them reread their own sentence and touch every word as they read it. And if there aren't words there, but they're still saying them, always remind them, "Well, I didn't see that word there." You might want to put that word right in there. If they have to erase and go back and fix, that's what authors do all the time. They have to go back and edit, revise a million times until they get it right. We never write things the correct way the first time. There's always multiple revisions. So Mrs. Stark is going to show you a middle of the road piece of writing, an average piece of writing.
And right now in second grade, this writing piece would receive a 2. So we're approaching grade level standard. As you can see, we have capital letter and punctuation for their first sentence. We have also, we're starting to use those transition words, first, then, next, then. So that's a good one. First, you kick your feet and you get your arms straight and splash water with your hands. And straight, I am so proud of this student because they've really been listening to our phonics lessons with talking about the different combinations, the different letter combinations that make the different sounds. So that's good. What I'm noticing in here though, and parents, if you see this as well, we're seeing capital letters in the middle of words. We're seeing them at the beginning of words when it's not starting a sentence. There's another one in the middle. And so we have to be very careful with capitalization. We have spent a lot of time talking about capitalization and punctuation. And we've talked to students about the proper places to put capitalization. So if you see your child putting capital letters in the middle of words, please remind them in the middle of words, we use lowercase because that's going to be really important as well. And that is a grade level standard for second grade, to be able to use capitalization and punctuation consistently and correctly. Okay, so as we go on to the next page, okay, right away we see that first sentence starts with the word and. And we've talked to the students many times, and we've instructed them many times that we never want to start our sentence with and, because and is what we call a conjunction. It joins two thoughts together. Again, and jump in the pool, try to swim in the deep end, and kick your feet. So we see we're missing some punctuation after our first thought. I'm looking and I see some words that do not have proper spacing in between them. And again, I see those capital letters in the middle of words that shouldn't be there, or at the beginning of words where it shouldn't be either. All right, and going on to the next page. Got it. Yep. Make sure you don't drown. We have drowned, and like rhyming with ground. Make sure it's apparent with you. Try to swim underwater. So you can see here where punctuation is missing to show a complete thought. And this is why this is approaching grade level standards, because right now in second grade, they should be able to write down a sentence with one complete thought. Again, the capital letters in the middle of words. But spelling and sounding out is doing really well for second grade.
And that would probably be about a 2.
2.
Yeah, definitely a 2. So it's coming up to where second grade standards would start to come into play. And the last one that we have to show you is definitely a 1, and I'd like to point out a few things here. This is definitely a sign of a struggling writer, and I'll point out a bunch of things to you here. This is a child that is definitely one that needs some intensive help, needs to practice a lot of different skills. There's a lot of conventions missing. There's some definitely capital letters in inappropriate places. There is a lack of punctuation. There's no punctuation at all, so we don't know where sentences begin and end. Letters are formed inappropriately in the wrong places on the lines. There's some words, I see finger spaces, but they're not helping us get in the right place to understand the writing, and you can see it's very difficult to read. This reminds me very much of an end of the year kindergarten writer. So again, this would be scoring a 1 for a report card, and it's very difficult to read. You can see the printing is all over. It reminds me of a child that has some small motor deficits, that needs to practice some pencil grip, that isn't used to writing on their own very much. You can see some invented spelling. Sorry, I'm backwards on the screen here. Some invented spelling. So there's the word 1 and the word cup, which you can see the sounds k, up, but she chose the K instead of a C. You can see the word water right here, and it's spelled as if she said it, odd-er. So there's a lack of the sound here, even though we taught the sound a while ago, and I'm sure you remember Gus saying that is spelled ER at the end of a word, even though you can also choose IR or UR, I believe we said in the middle of the word. I know there's more ways than that to spell it.
And also the word of.
Way over here. Yeah. And this is typical of a very beginning type writer, where that she's sounding out of with OV instead of OF, and that's a sight word, a snap word. We have a few more things going on here that's invented spelling, and that carries on to another page. She was only able to write 2 pages in her story, where students that are on the higher end of the writing scale can do a how-to story that has multiple steps, sometimes even 5, 6, or 7 steps, could fill up maybe 5 half pages with illustrations on each, using capital letters, punctuation, maybe even a comma included in there. finger spaces. The sentences are varied. Some are longer than others. They're very descriptive. So we're going to have some really intense small group writing instruction for this child. Try and pump that up a little bit. Put in some more vowel sounds, some blends, some digraphs, see where we can get this child at the end of the year to really improve this writing. So, in case you were wondering where your child falls on this spectrum, sit down and write with them. Have them pick a subject of something that they know about. Have them write the steps of how to do something. We had one that did how to make a pizza. It was very interesting. Try that one. How to tie your shoe. We did how to turn on your Chromebook. They know
how to bake a cake.
How to bake a cake. How to put on your pajamas. How to brush your teeth. How to do anything. Ask them. See what they come up with. The important part is they have to write the steps in order so that it makes sense. See what they come up with. Compare it to what we just showed you, and you'll get a good idea of what your child's writing skills are right now. And you can help them kind of fix things up at home, and that'll help us at school.
And parents, just to let you know, we are right now moving on to narrative writing. So the writing assignments that you see on Google Classroom are that of beginning narrative writing. But we've also noticed that the assignments that the children aren't doing and turning in are the writing ones. Mm-hmm. And the writing is really, really important. Really, really important because reading and writing go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And when you're writing, you're practicing your phonics. So that comes into play as well. Those troublemaker words, their snap words. I know when we do writing remotely, that we ask for you to send us pictures. And I know we sent videos. We are receiving pictures of some work, whether it be through pictures on your Chromebook or through Class Dojo. Please keep those coming because we really need to see how they are progressing in writing at home as well. But if your child is not completing those writing assignments, we need to really make some time and do that. They should be completing those writing assignments on Google Classroom because practice makes permanent. We never say perfect because no one's perfect, but it makes permanent, and it helps them also look to see, am I getting better at this? Am I not? Do I need to work a little bit harder?
Everybody needs to work a little bit harder.
Needs to work a little bit harder. But it's nice for them to also see, what they're doing at school and what they're doing at home and, making sure that they can do the best writing that they possibly can.
And if you have any other questions, we're going to try and do a video every week, whether it be ELA or math or one of the other subjects that we teach here at school. So if you have any pressing questions and you'd like to ask us anything, or if you have a suggestion of what the next video should be about, please let us know. If you want to know any tricks about math, everybody likes math. Everybody has questions about math because it's that new math everybody can't stand. Ask us and we'll try and make that the topic of the next video.
Definitely.
What would you like us to talk about next? So drop it in the comments or send a message or put it on Class Dojo. If you're not signed up yet, get signed up.
We really need you on
We need you on Class Dojo. We're still missing a bunch of parents on Class Dojo. This is how you get all your information, all the class special events, all the school special events, everything that's going on that has to do with Union East or Cheektowaga Central is going to be on Class Dojo and the school website. So please let us know what you want to know about. Otherwise, we're going to keep talking about the topics that are at hand or the current events that are going on or the current things we're teaching, and we're going to try and keep you informed as best as we can. And we have a meeting to go to, so we'll talk to you next time.
Real quick, parents, if you haven't responded to us as to your wishes for what you would like your child to be for the next semester, whether you want to continue with hybrid or go completely remote, please do that as soon as possible. We need to get that information into Mrs. Mitchell so that she can make the necessary changes regarding staff and classrooms and things like that. If you have questions about full-time remote or our hybrid that we're doing, please feel free to contact us. We will be happy to answer any questions. And we need to go, so we'll see you later. Have a good day.
Bye.